Hi, everybody. Welcome. Social Media 101 with Rachel Adams Lee. That's me. Okay, so you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a lei right now. And why? Well, because it's Life by Design, and I'm currently in Hawaii. Ryan and I are here because one of our friends is getting married, and also I'm getting scuba certified, which for those of you who follow me on social media already, you know has been a crazy fear of mine. I call myself shark jerky, but I'm super excited to tell you that I'm still alive, and I'm here, and I have had a freaking blast. It is such a different experience, and it's like a whole world down there that I didn't even know existed, and I'm loving it. So we are in Hawaii. So as soon as I'm done with you guys, I'm going to be putting on these bad boys and gonna go hang out and get some sun. All right, so Social Media 101. Are you ready for this? Good, because I am too. I'm going to do a little screen share with you guys so you can check out this fancy presentation that I created for you. 1 second. Let me get this going. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you. And some of you are watching this with me live. Some of you are going to be watching this on YouTube later on. And so if you guys have any questions and you want to connect with me later, I would love to connect with you. And you can reach out to me through social media, Facebook, Instagram. Private message is always the best. You also can email me, and I'll give you guys all my contact information later on. I'm ready. Okay, so who am I and why are you guys watching this? Again, my name is Rachel. I'm 33 years old, and my husband and I, Ryan, we live in Northern California in El Dorado Hills. And it is this awesome house. We just rehabbed the whole thing. It's super fun. I have a bit of a career in real estate. I also recently partnered with a shampoo company. I wrote a book. And so I'm going to share a little bit with you about some of my passions with social media today. I have quite a few different people watching this webinar. We have my friends in real estate. We have some of our team with Monat, the shampoo company, to different sales industries. So I'm going to try and keep this general, and just know that you'll be able to apply lots of these tips and tricks to your business. And if you have a specific question, like I said, reach out to me. What you'll learn with me is I'm very open book. I like to share and I like to help people, which means I want to help you. So how did I get into real estate? I was working a full-time job and was seeing all these paychecks coming through, and I was paycheck behind a paycheck. People will say like paycheck to paycheck. I'm like, hey, I'm a paycheck behind a paycheck. So once I get one, it's already gone and spent. And I remember seeing all these checks coming through, and I was sitting in a real estate office, unlicensed, and I was thinking, one of those checks could change my life. Now, at the time, I think I was making like $15 an hour or something, and I heard about this class called Bold, which I've now taken 7 times. Go Keller Williams. And I heard a quote that kind of changed my world. It was, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. So I'm sitting in this 9-to-5 job, feeling kind of scared that I couldn't quit my job because it's safe and I knew how much money's coming in. Well, what if I did quit my job? What if I went into real estate and I was commission-based? Well, there's no cap on how much money I can make, and I can create my own destiny. So I did, you guys. I jumped into real estate February 2nd of 2012 with Keller Williams. My first year was insane. I door knocked 200 doors a week, and I did 3 open houses a week for the first 8 months. It was bananas. And I was able to sell 39 houses my first year in real estate. The second year was 109 homes. The third year was 123. And that's when I landed as Wall Street Journal's top 1,000 agents in the country. I'm now 5.5 years into my career. We have a team of 15 agents on the team, and I thankfully get to coach all over the world in real estate, and I teach people about how to have amazing business and work on their mindset. Not every day is sunshine and roses, even if that's what it looks like on Facebook. You know that Facebook's always real, right? And I love what I get to do. I also ended up writing a book called Lost to Found in 90 Days. And it's all about really like figuring out your purpose in life and why you do what you do, and seeing what's holding you back from reaching unlimited potential. And I recently partnered with a shampoo company, which I know is crazy. And I I'm always such a big proponent of like what I put into my body. Like I think about, what we eat and drinking water. And you guys know I always have water near me. But I think talk about always what I put into my body, but not what I put on my body. And I found this incredible anti-aging, all natural, botanically based shampoo company and learned about the growth trajectory with them and decided to sign up. And I'd never done it before, terrified. And it has completely changed my world. And it's been a huge blessing to Ryan and I. And it's amazing. So that is my world. And I'm married to the most attractive man in America, Ryan Lee. Those of you who have not gotten to meet him, you need to. If you haven't seen him, look at my Facebook. It's worth it. He's wonderful. And I love him. And we're real mushy. A few pictures of my world and what we do. Our wedding photo, me getting to speak on some stages for some nonprofit work. Charity we're involved in, Blue Heart International. Goodness, ABC 10, lots of good stuff. Real estate, I'm very, very blessed to be able to lead this life that I lead. And I get to share some social media with all of you. So bottom line, when you think about social media, I think that a lot of times we see a picture of somebody and their perfect family and we're like, oh my gosh, life is amazing. Their marriage is perfect. Their life is perfect. Their hair is perfect. Life is perfect. 5 minutes before, you guys, they were in a fight with their spouse and their kids crying, right? That's reality. What I will tell you is that people work with people they like, and they like you, but they need to know who you are, and they need to know what you're doing, and they need to know what you're reading, and they want to know what you're eating. And, when I had gotten a divorce and I had never told anybody, I worked so hard to keep up this image of perfection because that's what I thought people wanted to see. I thought they wanted to see that I had this flawless life. And reality was I worked so hard to keep up this image of perfection that it was robbing me of my joy and of my happiness as a person because I wanted to be everything to everyone all the time. And, when I realized I had an aha moment where I was called out in a big interview on TV and for being inauthentic, watch that one. And it was just this amazing moment. And I always talk about that I don't have problems, I have opportunities. And for me, that was an opportunity for growth. So I chose to look at that moment and say, you know what? I'm going to be authentic with people. I'm going to be transparent with people and honest. And so that's when I really, I transitioned my real estate team. And I got much more intentional about who I was as a person. And this is what I want to tell you. Your brand does not have to just be one thing. Absolutely not. Now, I heard this woman on a podcast one time. Her name's Shailene Johnson. I'm a huge fan of her for social media training too. And she was talking about that you are more than just your brand. I'm a real estate agent, you guys. Absolutely. But I'm also a wife. I also care about healthy, clean eating. I care about travel. I care about giving back to others, right? And eventually, hopefully, when Ryan and I get to have babies, I'm going to care about my kids. My brand is not just real estate. And in fact, if you think your brand is just what you do for a living, you're mistaken. And you are that person that we drown out on social media. Look at me. I'm an amazing realtor. Do you want to buy a house, sell a house, buy a house, sell a house? Delete, unfollow. No, thank you. Or if you're in direct sales, you guys, and all you're doing is posting every single day about shampoo, they're going to delete you. You have to talk about different things. Why? Because people work with people they like, and they like you, but you're more than just one thing. And I'm going to help you figure out all the different things that you're about today. Now, this is an example of my real estate team. So I want to share with you some of the branding because I don't think people talk enough about branding with social media. Now, your brand, what you put on the outside, is simply a reflection of who you are on the inside. So I want you to think, what does your brand say about you? Now, what you'll see at the top here is this is my logo, the Rachel Adams Group. It's our real estate team. And at the bottom, it says, we live here, we work here, we're here for you. Because that's my slogan. We live here, we work here, we're here for you. We live in the community, we work in the community, and well, we're here for the community. Now, every single thing I put out on social media, whether it's an event I'm doing, a video that I've done, it doesn't matter. They all say, we live here, we work here, we're here for you. They're in my door knocking scripts. It's our consistency, right? And my brand. So the logo you see at the top, I want to share with you guys where I got that done because I love this company. Logomyway.com. Logomyway.com. So this is a phenomenal little hack for you guys. It's $200. They'll tell you to do the $500 one. I always go $200. You have people from all over the world competing for your business. They're different graphic designers. For $200, it's like people in the Philippines, people in Uganda, like all over the world. You tell them what your audience is, kind of your vision, if there's colors you like, examples of logos, and all these people compete for you, and you get to select the logo. And a phenomenal tip for you, on social media, people love to give their opinion. So what I want you to do is when you have your final 2 logos, pop that on social media, tag me so I know that you're listening and doing what you should be doing, and that you watch this webinar would be awesome. But I want you to say like, hey guys, I want to know what your favorite is. I'm coming up with a new logo. People love to help you, and my God, they love to give their opinion. So invite them along in the process. Now, this is something I want to share with you. I sell houses and hair. It might seem silly to you guys, but like I said, my brand, I am not just a real estate agent. So what I did is I combined my loves, I combined my passions, because at the end of the day, what is real estate? What am I doing? Why do I do what I do? I do it because I love helping people. I want to help people achieve the American dream. And I'm helping them with the biggest financial decision they'll ever make. I'm helping them with selling houses. Why did I write my book? I wrote it because I wanted to help people achieve the life of their dreams. And with Monat company, the anti-aging company we partnered with, the anti-aging shampoo company, it was about helping people have better confidence with their hair that they used to have in their youth, right? If they're balding or, postpartum kids, that kind of thing, hair loss. And the other thing though is, Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams, he says that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. 7 streams. And Ryan and I wanted rental properties. And so when we found Monat, it became our passive income stream. And I mean, those of you who watch some of our YouTube videos, you know that it's going really, really well. We have, in 6.5 months, we have like 1,700 people on the team. I created an entire coaching series around my Monat business for all of our team to help them. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's about helping people. And that's what I realized. So when you look at your brand, and you look at who you are and what you're putting out there, I want you to get clarity on, number 1, why you do what you do. And then number 2, who are you? What are you about? What is your message you're sending to people? And I'm going to teach you a classy way to be able to talk about your business regardless of the industry. So let's talk a little bit about seamless branding. Have you guys heard about your RAS, your reticular activating system? Those of you who've taken BOLD know what this is. And those of you who don't, I want to teach you. So your RAS, it's this little thing in the back of your brain that when it's activated, you recognize things around you. So take, for example, a Ford Focus. And I don't know why I always use the Ford Focus because I don't drive one. I drive a Cadillac, a really hot Cadillac that I just got, PS. But I always use the Ford Focus. So say, for example, I want to buy a Ford Focus and I go to the dealership and I test drive it and I like it, but I'm not totally sure I want to buy it. And then I get in my car and I'm driving home and I look up on my right and what do I see? A Ford Focus. I'm like, that's so weird. I just test drove that. And then I keep driving and what do I see on my left? 2 more Ford Focuses driving on the road. I'm like, what is going on? Then I park at the grocery store because Ryan sent me a text and I forgot milk. And I park next to a Ford Focus. I'm like, what is going on? Where are these Ford Focuses? Well, the deal is they've always been there, but now my RAS is activated to them. So what I wanted to show you here is an example of how I take control of my branding. Now, every video that I put on social media when it comes to real estate is going to have my logo. It's going to have my brand and it's going to have my slogan. What is it? We live here, we work here, we're here for you. So what you can see here is an example of my e-banner that goes on every email I send out, my Facebook banner on social media for my business page, our presentation folders, business card, the sign on the side of my car. You guys, I am consistent. Why? Because someone's going to be driving down a road and they're going to see a sign for the Rachel Adams Group listing a new home. And they're going to be on social media scrolling around and they're going to see this super fun client event called Mommies and Mimosas, Kids and Crafts. And they're like, I want to go to that. That sounds so fun. Who's hosting it? The Rachel Adams Group. They're like, oh man, that girl again. And then I'm standing in line at the grocery store and they see me and they're like, where do I know that girl from? I'm telling you, it works. I want you to be so crystal clear on what your brand is that people's RAS is activated to you and your brand, regardless of the industry you're in, okay? Now, I think about relationships. And for me, I know that I work with people I like, right? I've said it to you in the beginning, and I'm going to say it to you a lot of times throughout this. People work with people they like and people they trust. So people like you, people trust you. I always say that real estate is a relationship-based business. And by the way, we just happen to be in the business of buying and selling houses. So I'm all about how I can build deeper relationship and deeper rapport with people. Now, when you think about where your business comes from, if you're in real estate or if you sell Monat, either business you're in, I want you to think, where does my business come from? Now, I always like to think of my business like the legs of a chair. And if there's 4 legs to a chair, then what are the 4 legs to my business going to be? And by that, I mean, where does my business come from? Now, if you're in real estate, you can pull your MLS closed homes from last year, and you can actually track the source if it came from an online lead, if it came from a referral, and that way. And so what I want you to think for every one of you write 1 through 4. Number 1, 100% is going to be your database, because there are people who know you, who like you, and who want to refer business to you. And then 2, 3, and 4, it really can be up to you. I mean, you could be door knocking, open houses, business to business presentations. I mean, you really can do whatever you want. But what I will tell you is, for me, number 2, it's social media. Why? Because last year we sold 64 homes just from Facebook alone. And I bet you're wondering how I did it. The other thing is our Monat business. I mean, if you asked me if I would have sold shampoo, are you kidding me? No. Why would I sell shampoo? And then I got on my head and I'm like, I'm going to need to sell this stuff. And I will tell you that, you know, the people that partnered with us to sell shampoo and be on our team or buy it from us, they trust me. And I take that relationship really seriously. And I was able to do this and build this whole second business all through social media. And so what that means is that you guys have an opportunity as well. But what are you posting? What are you sharing with people? Are you someone that they want to delete? Are you deletable? If all you're doing is posting about business, 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 you're going to be deleted. And I don't want that to happen for you. Now, what we do on our team for real estate, and you guys can apply this to NS, is I want you to think about 2018. And I want you to look at the calendar. And so on our team, we actually take January through December, and we come up with 33 ways that we can love on our database, on our community, on social media throughout the year. And you guys can take some time and look at this, pause the webinar, and take some time. I also have another webinar I did on YouTube where you guys can actually hear me kind of going more in depth on some of the events that we do. But this, I just kind of wanted to share with you some of the ways that we love on our database throughout the year, because it's just a good way to think about it. Because when you look at social media as a business model, you're not just like hanging out and seeing what happens. It's a business. And I choose to run my businesses and not have them run me. So I prep ahead of time. I mean, if we're in sales, you guys, we are reactive. We're like reacting to the world around us. Social media, private text message, somebody needs us, we react. And what starts to happen is our business begins to run us and not us running our business. And we're so focused on making sure that everybody feels like they have our attention and that we're loving on them that we don't take the time to focus on ourselves. And I know that I've gotten in trouble at home. I don't know if you guys have, when every time my phone beeps, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Ryan was like, babe, we were having a conversation. I'm like, shoot, because I was reacting. I was being reactive to the world around me. So instead, I'm proactive. I like to be proactive about my business, proactive about when I'm going to respond to people on social media, and proactive about what I'm posting when it comes to social media. So let's get to the meat of this presentation, you guys. Social Media 101. Now, I want to share with you a story because, you know, I talked to you early on about having an abundant mindset when it comes to my businesses. And you guys all have different things happening in your life that are share worthy. And sometimes you might not want to share them because maybe you're worried that if you share your secret trick, that everybody else is going to get the business. And I will tell you, because clearly I'm doing this webinar, there are going to be real estate agents that are going to use a lot of these tips and tricks that I've taught them. And there's going to be people in Monat that might even not be on our team that are going to be sharing, getting lots of ideas. It comes back around. So I really want you guys to have an abundant mindset. So I'm going to share a little story with you. This is a picture of a flyer that I created when I was my business coach called me, David, and he said, hey, Rach, your goal is 50 million this year and you're on pace for 30 million. So what are you going to do about it? And I was like, I don't know. What am I going to do about it? And he said, well, you can't add any more money to your profit and loss because you've already spent too much this month. Surprise, surprise. He said, but you started your business doing door knocking and open houses. So I wanted to know which one of those you want to go back to. And I said, well, David, I haven't worked a weekend in like 2 years, so I definitely don't want an open house. But I did start my business door knocking. So I am going to door knock. And he was like, perfect. So I took a house where I had 5 offers on the property and we got 19,000 over asking. This is an example of a flyer. And what I did is I took 5 agents. We had 500 flyers and we door knocked the neighborhood, and we door knocked and they answered the door and we said, hey there, my name's Rachel Adams with Keller Williams Realty. And I'm not sure if you know, but we just sold your neighbor's house down the street and we got 5 offers on the property and over $19,000 over asking. Now, what that means to you is a few things. 1, we now have 4 homeless buyers who are pre-approved for up to $500,000 who want to move into your neighborhood. And 2, I mean, $19,000 over asking means that prices are going up in your neighborhood. And now because of that, a lot of your neighbors want to know how much their house is worth. Did you want in on that list as well? I'm like nodding my head. So they're like, yes, I want in on the list. And you guys, in 2 hours with 5 agents, 2 hours of door knocking, we got requests for 4 people who wanted to sell their house and they want to know how much their house was worth. We ended up closing 3 of them and one of them ended up doing a refinance. But it was this huge aha for me, and I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot the number 1 rule as a leader. Leaders lead by example. And I had stopped leading. I wasn't door knocking anymore. So I took my experience, and because those of you who know me know that I'm all about social media, I put it on Facebook. Now, I did choose a real estate specific group because I wanted to give back to real estate agents, and I'm also a businesswoman, so there's a win-win in this. So I took a picture of my feet, and what you'll notice is there is a blister. It says Real Talk Blisters, popped a little filter on it, and I put a Band-Aid on my foot because I got a blister. I forgot the number 1 rule when you door knock, you wear comfortable shoes. So I got a blister on my feet. And I made a post in the group and I said, Real Talk Blisters. Okay, so this is the deal. I believe in full transparency. And I think sometimes we see somebody fancy on stage and we think their life is so easy. Referrals just flow into them. They can't work anymore. And I said, you know what? I was behind on goal and I shared my story with everybody. And then I also shared my success about all the people who wanted to sell their house. And I said, you know what, realtors, if any of you want a copy of my script and a copy of my flyer, leave your email and I'll give it to you. You guys, I got 580 comments, 580 agent emails, and 580 people to add to my database. Now, I will tell you that I got so many responses to this, and I happened to have hair and makeup done one day for a video. So I took my iPhone, which first off, if you guys have an Android, I'm sorry for you. And secondly, I have an iPhone. And if any of you have ever been in a class with me and Ryan, you'll know that it's like a healthy banter we have because he, for some reason, thinks Androids are brilliant. Even though I'm like all Apple all the time and my stuff breaks all the time, but whatever. So anyways, I recorded in my video, and because I'm the kind of agent that does what I say I'll do, I sent this email out. I sent it to 580 people. And I said, hey, you guys, because I'm the kind of agent who does what I say I'll do, as promised, I wanted to get you a copy of my flyer and a copy of my script because, you asked for it. And I hope this adds value to you and your business. Also, if any of you have anybody moving to Northern California, I'm your girl. You guys, I received 19 referrals that next month. 19 referrals. Now, obviously not all of them came through, but it was this huge aha moment for me. And so what I want to share with you is be abundant. Have an abundant mindset. If something is working for you in your business, share it with other people. With real estate, there are so many real estate specific groups where you can love on other agents, and don't be worried that a local agent is going to post or share or do something that you did. Take it as a compliment. And when it comes to money and direct sales, you guys, there is plenty of people out there. Everybody's got hair. Maybe they have no hair. Maybe they have great hair and they want even better hair. There are so many people out there that can help. And I just think that if you have an abundant mindset, there's always going to be more business that comes to you. Okay. Now, people always ask me, when you're building a business around social media, how do you post? What do you post? How often do you post? So I want you first thing to adopt the 80-20 principle. 80% of what you post, it is going to be personal. Where you're going, what you're doing, what you're reading, what you're eating. Quick little break because I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Thanks, baby. Okay, so 80%, all personal, okay? 20% is going to be business. So if you're in the business of real estate, 20% of what you post about is going to be houses. It's going to be happy clients. It's going to be people getting their keys. If you're in Monat with me, 20% of what you post is going to be shampoo. Do not flood your page with talking only about shampoo, because then you're going to be that annoying direct salesperson and everybody's going to delete you. Why I think I've been successful at building 2 businesses is because people work with people they like. And I have a very wide lifestyle, and I'm doing all kinds of different things, and I take people on the journey with me, and I ask their opinion, and I love on them, and I give back to them. And then, by the way, I can give you amazing hair, and I also can sell you a house, right? Now, 2 kinds of pages. Do you have a personal page or do you have a business page? Well, I'll be honest with you. 64 houses sold last year from Facebook. Every single one of those came from my personal page, because people work with people they like. They want to connect with me. Now, I do have a business page for real estate, because I can get testimonials on there. People can rate my page, and I can flood that sucker with open houses, with community events, all of that. I also have a business page for my Monat business, because that is also very specific to me talking much more about shampoo. I'm not going to post about Ryan and I going on a trip on my Monat page. I will post about that on my personal page. Number 2, post 3 to 5 times per week. Now, if you're building a business around social media, 3 to 5 times per week is plenty. If you want to post more, you can. Just remember that 80-20 rule. And a fun little tool for you guys, if you don't use it, download an app called Google Keep. Google Keep. I probably have my next 4 to 5 posts planned out ahead of time. And with Google Keep, I can prep the post, I can type it out, I can put a picture in there, already have a filter ready to go. And for me, the only thing that will supersede a post that I have planned is if something real life happens that I deem is worthy to go on social media. Number 3, advertising and brand recognition. So this is where I really want you to think about your RAS, your reticular activating system, and what your brand is, kind of who you are out there, and advertising. Now, what I want to share with you is there are different things that can happen with you. So say that you get an award or something, right? And you feel really excited about your award, and you want to share it. You want to shout it out because you're proud of yourself and you worked hard to get it. Well, in real estate, I want to give you this example. We all know that real estate agent that's like, look at me, I'm amazing, another award, I'm number 1, blah, 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 blah. Delete, unfriend, braggadocious, no thank you, like Brachiosaurus Rex, right? We don't want them. So what I want you to think about is when you receive an award, why you got the award. You got the award because of the amazing people who trusted you with the biggest financial decision they'll ever make. So whenever I get an award, the first thing I go to is gratitude. I'm thankful why I got the award, who I got the award from. I'm thankful for the team that supports me, the team that's underneath me, right? That I get to partner with, because when my people are achieving their goals and their dreams, then I'm achieving mine as well. So I always want to make sure that I am giving gratitude to the right people and not just look at me. Another thing that's really great, number 4, open houses, closings, business highlights, client interactions. If you get a review or a testimonial or something phenomenal. So say if it's Monat and someone, has this, you've sent them the shampoo and they have this phenomenal before and after, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with my hair. It's never been softer, more manageable. My husband's hair is coming back. Those are the texts I get, right? I will screenshot one of those and that will be my post. Instead of, do you want to buy some shampoo? No, they don't. Get out of here, right? There is a way to talk about your business that's not so in people's faces. People know that I'm in real estate, but I don't shove it down their throats. Instead, I talk about, a travel I get to do and the fun agents I get to meet, or a great script that I came up with. I'll, do a video of it and I'll post it online for them. Real estate is a relationship-based business. And by the way, I happen to be in the business of buying and selling houses, right? And so with social media, I mean, like I said in the beginning, before you knock on a door, you pick up a phone, one conversation. With social media, you guys, you can connect with thousands of people simply with the click of a mouse. So what message are you putting out there? Number 5, games, questions, pictures, and videos. We're going to get into how you do effective social media posts, but those are all phenomenal. I mean, the point of social media is to gain interaction. You absolutely want people to like your post or give you the little hearts. You guys know I'm all about the hearts. You definitely want people to comment, and even more, you want people to share your post, because when they share it, then it goes not only to all of your friends, but their friends as well. And then client testimonials. Like I said, those are phenomenal. People being super happy with the new keys they have, before and after pictures, like that stuff's really powerful. Okay, now, I talked to you about the 80-20 principle. So I want you to think about this. What are the 5 things you're passionate about? If you're building a business around social media, what are the 5 things you're passionate about? So number 1, for every single one of you, it's going to be your business, whatever business you're in. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's really up to you. Maybe you're into hunting and fishing. Maybe you're into travel. Maybe you're into working out. Maybe if you're married or have kids, hopefully you like them and you're into those things, those people. Number 1 is going to be your business, but 2 through 5, again, it's really up to you. And then you plan your 3 to 5 posts a week around your 80-20 principle. Now let's talk about the power of a post, because all posts are not created equal. So if you're going to do a business plan around social media, first thing you do is a simple phrase, right? Power of a post. And you say, what a beautiful day today is. Rachel, you told me to do a post. I did it. What a beautiful day. Okay. The only person that liked that was your mom. So let's try something else. Number 2, a phrase and a question. What a beautiful day today is. What are you doing? If somebody asks a question, you're more likely to get a response. And the point of social media is to get interaction, right? Number 3, a question and a phrase. What a beautiful day today is. What are you doing? And then snap a little picture and do a selfie, pop a filter on it. I mean, the pictures really are great. And, that should say question and a picture, not question and a phrase. That's just, so question and a picture, that's number 3. And then number 4, even better, a video. Videos are everything. When you're on Facebook and you see a video playing, you stop. You stop because you want to see it at what it is. And I'll tell you guys, something you want to write down right now. The goal is to stop the scroll. The goal is to stop the scroll. You want to have your posts be powerful so people are stopping what they're doing and looking at what you're doing. And back on this last slide right here, if you're stuck and you don't know what the things you're passionate about are, what do you comment on? What takes your attention? What do you stop and think, I want to respond to that? Most likely, that's what you're passionate about. So like I said, video is huge. I want you guys to think more, doing about more video if you're not doing it. I am going to talk to you about how to do a phenomenal Facebook Live. And I'm going to make this a separate video on my Facebook as well. That's real simple and short, because I think a lot of people want to know how to do Facebook Live. So you get the extended version here, and then we'll watch it on Facebook later as well. Common mistakes. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal. Number 1, don't post and ghost. What does that mean? It means that if you take the time to make a post, don't poof, I made a post, I did it. No, don't ghost. You want to make sure that you're still present. And if you took the time to make a post and people respond to you, then they deserve to have you respond back to them. And I want you to do the little @ symbol, tag their name so that it turns blue, because then it gives them a notification. And Facebook is watching your interactions, you guys, and they want to know that you're interacting, and then you'll get more views. Number 2, avoid confrontational topics. So what that means is politics, religion. You can bet that I have some strong opinions, like real strong opinions on different things happening right now in our world. And yet social media is not the place that I'm going to air my dirty laundry. And just because you didn't make the post and you comment on someone else's, it still counts. People can literally screenshot something you said and use it in court. Like, it's that big of a deal. So just be really intentional about what you're posting. And then lastly, social media lasts forever, you guys. the thing is, you never know who's watching you. You never know who you're inspiring, and you never know where your next referral is going to come from for business. So you want to be really intentional about what you're putting out there. It really does matter. And, sometimes people will be tagged in something and not realize that they were, and that it can affect their business. I had an experience last year or 2 years ago, where I was got a pedicure. I got a pedicure with a girlfriend, and I wanted some self-care time, which we all know that's really important, right? So I went and got a pedicure. Now, I did have a client while I was getting the pedicure, and I ignored the call because I was at an appointment, right? The appointment was with me, but they didn't know that. They just knew I was at an appointment. Well, my friend, my girlfriend, she tagged me in a post saying that we were getting pedicures. And when the client saw that, they were irate, you guys. They were like, oh my gosh, I tried to call you. This is important. Where were you? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Since then, I have made it so that I have to approve all posts and I can't be tagged in anything. I think right now I have like 89 pending tags that I have to address. And it's just because I'm really intentional about what I put out there. So just a quick little tip for you. Now, I will tell you that, my social media has definitely transformed over the years. And I think it's really important to not only celebrate the beautiful stuff, but also the hard stuff. And, before I had met Ryan, I really worked, like I said, so hard for this image of perfection. And I didn't even know who I was or like what I wanted in my life. And when I got intentional about me, and I let people know that I got a divorce, and I shared some of my struggles in real estate, that it wasn't all, beautiful sunshine and roses, or that I was having like a tough body image day. Not only did my social media following grow, my posts were shared. My posts were commented on. I started to gain this following, and it coincided with the time that I had this major aha moment that I didn't have to be perfect all the time. Now, that doesn't mean I'm negative, because life does happen. I always find a positive spin. Like if I'm having a really rough day, I'll be like, thank God tomorrow is a new day and I love a good fresh start. Or I'll post a quote about something about finding strength, or something that I had found in the Bible, or something like that, right? And it was funny because when I truly started to live my life with authenticity and intention, that's when I met this guy. And and we talk all the time about how important social media has been to build our different businesses, and how you guys know that most of the time, like I happen to be right now I'm wearing yoga pants and I'm wearing Lulu, but a lot of times like I'll have business on the top when I'm doing a webinar, and then yoga pants on the bottom. Or, if I the cool thing with social media is, you can connect with so many people and be in your life and show them where you are and what you're doing. And they want to go through that with you. And they want to know like really what's happening in your world. Like we do not have kids yet. And you can bet when we have kids, I'm going to have beautiful staged, amazing photos of our kids. And I'm probably going to have some days where I look beat and my hair's thrown up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is hard. And that's real life. And people like real life. Now, let's talk a little bit about messages, because this is not talked about enough. Now, when it's your birthday and you have people saying happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, and you have, 400 messages on your Facebook page, it's like, oh my gosh, so wonderful. And also a little bit overwhelming. You're like, holy moly, this is a lot. But how many people sent you a private message? How many people sent you a private message? We're going to talk about beating the Facebook algorithm in a minute here, but I will tell you that Facebook has an algorithm. Now, the most I'm going to talk to you about is social media today with Facebook, because that's where I primarily get my business from. I do have an Instagram page as well. So if you have questions about that, you can PM me. That's what private message, the acronym for private message is PM. Private message. Now, when it's somebody's birthday, I like to send them a private message. Why do I do that? Why do I want to send somebody a private message? Because it's different, and because Facebook is watching for your interaction. And when that person reads your message and responds to you, you're now back in their feed. You might have seen people make a post recently on Facebook where it says like, hey guys, can't see you. Like I didn't know that I can't see most of my friends. It's true. We see 7% of our friends, which means your friends are seeing 7% of their friends. And maybe you're not one of them, but when you send them a private message and they respond to you, you're back in their news feed. And if you guys are in a business like real estate or selling shampoo, you want them to see it. And so I want you to be intentional. When you're building your businesses, I want you to try private messages. I want you to take the time to send a private message to someone. Silly side note, but I also delete people based on their birthday. Like when I first got into real estate, I added like Joe and his mom and his mom's mom and like anybody who wanted to be my friend. I'm like, yeah, let's be friends. And now that I am super maxed on friends, I go on the birthdays and I'm like, bye. Sorry, I don't know who you are anymore. Of course, that's none of you guys. I love all of you, but little side note. Okay, now I want to talk to you a little bit about getting some more interaction and connection, because I don't think that people do this the right way. I think that a lot of times they make it about themselves and they are too involved in what's happening in their life and they don't ask enough questions to their audience or to their friends. And, you know, like I said, I believe in a win-win, and I really do trust my social media. I trust my following and my friends, and it's a way for me to connect with people. And so when I decided that I was going to sell Monat, you know, it's an anti-aging hair care company, and it's all natural and botanically based. They have no parabens, no sulfates and toxins, right? And so Ryan and I had already got sort of early in the year about changing out our mouthwash and our toothpaste and our shampoo and our deodorant, but we didn't know which deodorant to get. So I put this post on Facebook and I said, I'm all about going all natural where I can remove chemicals from my life. I haven't been able to find a good natural deodorant. And then one of my girlfriends recommended this. It was on Shark Tank and I'm going to try it. Have you? Hashtag no stinky. And I'm all about silly hashtags. Now, this one got 27 comments. And it was all people who were connecting with me and sharing their experience with clean deodorant. And it was phenomenal because I got to answer my question, right? I got to figure out which natural deodorants to try. And you will notice that I take time and I respond to each one of these people. But then I had a thought. Well, if somebody likes a natural clean deodorant, they probably like a natural clean shampoo. And so guess what I got to do? I got to thank these people, share gratitude to them, and then also ask if they've tried Monat. Now, with real estate, when I'm sending a private message to someone, I don't know. So you guys are watching this. I'm not sure. Let me see where my cell phone is because I want to show this to you. Do you know where my cell phone is, babe? I think it's plugged in. So I'm going to share with you guys real quickly a post that I put on Facebook. But I always like to love on people because, thank you. I always like to love on people because what I found is that, you know, my real estate friends, like I said, I have this abundant mindset. I had this post, which if you guys send me, if you're watching this and you're in real estate and you want a copy of this text message, this script, just send me a private message on Facebook and I'll send it to you. So I'm just going to show you what it says and then I'm going to read it. Now, this is for real estate. And this was a text message that I sent out for 2018. And I said, hey, Christina, happy 2018. I wanted to reach out and wish you an amazingly blessed new year and let you know that I'm absolutely here for you for anything you need. Whether it's a great housekeeper, a restaurant suggestion, even a family photographer, I have got you covered. Also, if any of your goals for 2018 involve buying or selling a home, or you know someone who might be looking for that, I would be honored if you think of me. And I sent this message, right? I sent this to my database through text message. I also sent this through private message on Facebook. Now, I didn't say, buy a house, sell a house, buy a house, sell a house. What I did is I added value to them. And that's how I think about real estate. That's how I think about building connections with people. Like I will literally look at someone's social media, especially if it's somebody that I want to do business with, if I want to be their referral agent of choice for real estate, or I want them to join my company and sell shampoo, like whatever it is, I look at their life and I lead with them. I see if I just graduated from high school or if they just had an anniversary and I reach out to them and I connect with them. And undoubtedly, they're going to say to me, after I say, oh my gosh, so excited, so wonderful, that's so beautiful, that's happening in your life, they're going to say, thank you so much, Rachel. What's happening in yours? And at that point, then I can say, oh my gosh, so funny you asked. And then I can share what's happening in my life. This is the thing, you guys. If you make your world about giving, what you can give versus what you can get, it's just such a more beautiful way to do business. And then you're not that annoying person who's always selling something. You're giving. And what do I say to you? People work with people they like. Now, this is an example of a community event that we did, and this was for my database. And it is just one really fun event that we did. And so my next webinar that I'm going to do for you guys is called How to Build the Perfect Client Event. And we're going to go through all the steps of what you do for a client event. But this is a specific one that I did called Santa Mimosas. And, we have a private event hosted through social media. We have an actual, we have a post. We did a really fun video. And then we actually get to share this afterwards. And this is called the evidence of success. And so even if somebody didn't get to come to your event, they still want to know what happened and see photos. And this was so well received. And then people want to come into the next time. Because if real estate is a relationship-based business, well, I'm building relationships. And you can bet these people, they're going to want to buy a house at some point. They're going to have friends that want to buy houses, and maybe they have friends who want to buy some shampoo. Like, I know it seems silly and kind of weird to talk about them coinciding, but your brand is more than just one thing. If you guys, say that you love, like for Patrick, for example, my director of sales, he loves bacon. So he will do a cigar and poker night with business owners and have a bacon food truck outside. And he'll post it on social media, he'll connect with his community, and then at the end, he'll show evidence of success. He shares how much fun it was, and people want to work with Patrick because of who he is and what he gives back to his community. So when you look at this, I just want you to think, who are you and what are you giving back to your community? Now, this is another really cool trick. So I created this on something called Canva, and in fact, almost every one of these slides is from Canva. It's canva.com, and it's V as in Victor. And a lot of times people say, Rachel, what area do you serve? What part of real estate? Where do you do real estate? So I actually made this really quick little, this image, and it has my brand, right? Y'all know my brand. It says, how to contact me. It has my, and my email address. So that's my email address, in case you guys need anything. And it's my phone number. It's not my real cell phone number. Don't text message it. It goes to my assistant. However, what happens is whenever anybody on social media has a referral group and they're like, hey, oh my gosh, does anybody know where it is? I have this picture that I can send out to people. And if you are in real estate, I highly encourage you to create something like this because it is going to be very, very helpful to be like, boom, this is where I serve. And when you have something like this already ready to go, it's professional, it's classy, and they're going to take you seriously. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Facebook interactions because it is really important that you guys have a high amount of client interactions when you are doing Facebook. So you'll see a positive affirmation one that I did and most of the ones where I get the most interaction is when I'm super duper transparent and just talking about like what is going on in my life. People like to celebrate you guys. People want to share with you and connect on what's happening. And do you see a single one of these have a picture of a house or a picture of a shampoo bottle? No, you don't. Why? Because that's not how I build my business. I build my business by connecting with other people. So the positive affirmation ones, and again, you guys, if you're not friends with me yet, go on social media, friend me on Facebook or follow me on Facebook, follow my Instagram. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel because there's lots of trainings on there as well. And I'll show you guys how you can find me on that. But, one of these is Ryan and I attending a wedding. Another one is us attending another wedding. The one with the sunset on the bottom, that was us after we bought our new house, and that's a picture of our backyard, and I invited everybody to come have a glass of wine with us. Another one, this was really cool. It says 6 months from now, you can be in a completely different space, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Keep working and believing in yourself. Again, it is my brand. It's what I talk about. So all of my messages are pretty consistent. And then a Facebook Live that I did. We're going to now transition to Facebook Lives because I love them. Facebook loves them. You want to have interaction? Well, you have to beat that Facebook algorithm. And I will tell you, like I said, Facebook only see, if your friends are seeing 7% of what you're putting out there. So if you want to beat that algorithm, you got to beat that 7%. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. And we're going to talk about how to have a really successful Facebook Live. That first one right there, 14,000 views, you guys. 14,000 views. That was actually when I came out about shampoo, and I was like terrified. And actually, funny story about that, where I shot at, it's in my garage at my old house. You would have never known it unless you watched this video, which you can still watch it on Facebook. But I believe in being kind of goofy and silly because like legitimately it's who I am as a person. So I'm doing this webinar and I am in this fancy oh, my hair is perfect. And I'm in this fancy little studio. And then I kind of I shift the computer screen so they can see that I'm like legit in my garage and I just happen to paint a wall and have my stager make it look fancy. Again, right? Real. People like real. So let's talk about how to do a Facebook Live because it's really, really fun. First one, you guys want to pick your topic. Now, I know that a lot of people have nervous energy around how to do a Facebook Live, and a lot of my feedback I get from people is that they're terrified, like shaking terrified. Practice it in a mirror. Prep it with your friends. Prep it with your dog. Get comfortable doing it off camera so that when you go on camera, you're on. And in fact, if you're going to do a Facebook Live for the first time and you're terrified, make a post that you're about to do your first Facebook Live at this time and you're super scared and you'd love to have people's support. Because you know what that means? You're going to get likes, you're going to get hearts, you're going to get a lot of interaction, and that's the point of this. So number one, pick your topic. You want to choose a topic that you're going to be doing a Facebook Live about. Number two, prep your topic. So what I want you to do is I want you to literally have a piece of paper and you're going to do bullet points, right? You're going to have bullet points talking about the different things you want to say because especially if you're nervous, you might skip a few of those bullet points and then you're like, oh, it's over. And you're like, I didn't say this and this was my moment. And I've done that before. So pick your topic, prep your topic, choose a location to film. So one of the best things about Facebook Live is that you can do them anywhere that you're at. And I want you to be intentional about where you're filming because if you're doing a Facebook Live and no one can hear you because it's so loud around you, it doesn't really get the same effect that you wanted it to get. So pick your topic, prep your topic, choose a location to film. Then you're going to want to dial in your lighting and filming equipment. Now, when I am doing most of my Facebook Lives, I'm doing them with my handy dandy iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, buy one. No problem there. So a lot of times I use my cell phone. I also have different cameras and stuff that I can film with. But Facebook Lives, I like to just use my cell phone. If I'm in the car, sometimes I have a little holder that I'll put on that will attach to my vent in my car, and it will hold the phone for me so I can do my karate chopping like I like to do. Dial in lighting. So the next slide, I'm going to show you guys what specific lighting I use based off my 3 kinds of lighting that I have. And then number 5, you want to pick an outfit that works on camera, not too many prints. So you guys will see right now I'm doing a solid pink shirt. I absolutely want to encourage you to not do a busy print, a lot of florals, or a crazy plaid. It doesn't translate well on camera, and you don't want to have somebody's attention be on your outfit and not on the words that you're saying. And then once you have your topic ready, you've prepped it, you've got the location dialed, you have your lighting in, your filming's ready, you have the perfect outfit, lights, camera, action. Now, how do you do a Facebook Live? You're going to go onto Facebook. There is a button on the top right-hand side that says Live Video. You go onto your timeline, you click Live Video, and as soon as it's ready, a screen's going to appear to you. You can, if it's facing outward, that means what you're looking at is what they're seeing. So if it's facing outward, that means that they are seeing what you're looking at. If you want it to look at you, there's a little reverse camera. You click on that and it's going to show you that is now what your Facebook audience is seeing. And before you go live on Facebook, you want to prep your topic or your title of what you're going to do and make sure it's an attention grabber. If you guys are stuck on what an attention grabber is for your topic, send me a private message on Facebook. I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, let's talk lighting. So there's 3 different options. These are all the specific ones that I have purchased. So I did a little screenshot on Amazon for you guys. Amazon Prime is my bestie. I'm kind of obsessed. My husband isn't as obsessed because he gets to open all the boxes and he's always like, what did you buy now? I'm sure nobody feels that way out there. So first one, on the left-hand side, it is a ring light. This is an awesome, it's $7.95. It's this really cool ring light that goes on your cell phone. It can give you phenomenal lighting. A lot of times I see people do Facebook Lives and you can barely see their face. Your face is beautiful, so I want you to show it off. Number 2, in the middle here, this is a big fancy LED 12-inch portrait and photography light. This has a big heavy stand. I have one of these in my home office. I also have one of these in my real estate office. And this is where when I was in the garage, this is a video that I did. If you have stationary lighting and you want full body, this one's phenomenal. And then the third one, I use this one almost every webinar that I do at my house, and it is it's Teotronics. It's their LED desk lamp, and it's awesome. It's like $30, and the lamp can like move this way, move this way. It works with you, so I really like that lighting. These 3 are the best. I really encourage, and what I will do for you guys is in the description of this YouTube video, I will put the links to order these 3 lights in case you want that. I'll also put the links for my different websites that I talk about because I want you guys to be able to connect with me and keep me in the loop on how your social media is going and growing. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is beating the Facebook algorithm. And this one's really simple. Okay, we talked about how Facebook, you're seeing 7% of your friends. This is the easiest, simplest tip. If you take nothing away from this webinar, I want you guys to take this tip away. Now, mind you, this is being filmed in January of 2018. So it is very possible the algorithm has changed by the time you're watching this. However, I want you to comment on 10 people's posts before you make a post. 10 people. Now, don't quote me on this. And I was told from someone who works at Facebook is you go from 7% views to 40% views if you comment on 10 people's Facebook ahead of time. That does not mean like. That does not mean share. That means a legitimate comment on their page. Now, if you want to be intentional like we are in our businesses, be intentional about the message that you put on the page and make sure it's the person you want to see your post. If it's somebody you've been wanting to work with or have join your team, then that's who you're going to want to make a comment on. 7% to 40% comment on 10 people's posts. Okay, my beautiful friends, thank you for your time today. I hope you got so many nuggets out of this. If you did, please share it with your friends. I want to connect with you on social media. So if you are hanging out with me on Instagram, you will see what it looks like to the left. If you're hanging out with me on Facebook, you're going to see that as well. Let's be friends. I want to be your friend. My name is Rachel Adams Lee on social media, also on YouTube. So YouTube, it's /Rachel Adams Lee. Subscribe to my channel. This is where you're watching this. Most likely you're seeing it from YouTube, but I also have lots of other trainings on here. If you are on Instagram, you will find me there. I always check my private messages. Facebook, I check my private messages as well. I would love to connect with you guys on those. Bottom line, you guys are who you surround yourself with. Your audience, the people who work with you, who love you, who refer business to you, they want to support you. And this is a picture of my real estate team dressed up at Christmas. We did the ugly sweaters. We have our resident puppy, Walter. And, you know, our team, we have a message. And our message is that we give back to people, we care about them, and we want to help them. And those who work with us, they trust us, and they know that our message is really clear. You know, Jim Rohn, he always talks about you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around. And so I always think about who are my 5? Who are the 5 people I hang around the most? Are they positive people? Do they inspire me? Do they give joy to me? You know, and a lot of times it's the people we work with. And sometimes you have to look at the people around you and go, gosh, are these people lifting me up or bringing me down? And same thing on social media. Please know that that is your environment. If you are scrolling through and you see somebody who says something that always offends you or it makes you feel bad, delete them, block them, unfollow them. It is your environment and you can choose for it to be a beautiful, positive place or the opposite. And I know for me, I love social media. I love to connect with you guys. I love to connect with my family. I love to connect with my clients. I have so many new friendships that have been formed through social media by a click of a mouse. It's phenomenal. Next webinar coming up, we're going to be talking about steps to launch a successful client event. These right here 1 through 9. These are just some of the steps we're going to go over, but I'm going to talk in depth with you guys about how to launch a super successful client event, regardless of the business you're in. We'll be able to help with that. If you are wondering what the heck I have been talking about this whole time when it comes to Monat, I would love to connect with you guys. Like I said, we sell houses and I sell hair. So it is an anti-aging hair company. Their growth trajectory is insane. They're going to be the #1 hair care company in all of North America. Again, it's one of my streams of income. Would love to tell you more about it. If you want some passive income for yourself, or if you're just curious about the hair care line, there's some cool before and afters. Social media. So that is just one of the weeks. I told you guys earlier that I am a coach. I have a 10-week webinar series through Max with Keller Williams, and it's called From Limited to Legendary, your fast track to becoming a top 1,000 agent. It's a 10-week webinar series with a half-hour live Q&A and a private Facebook mastermind group. It's really, really fun. We talk about we just develop your marketing and brand awareness. We talk about the mega agent mindset. So what is really going on in this crazy brain to become a mega agent? We talk about 10x the buying process, 10x the selling process. We have an entire week dedicated to social media where we actually develop your social media brand. We talk about how to hire people. So talent, your secret magnet, making sure that you have your admin systems all dialed in. So there's a full week just on admin and structure. Personal growth equals business success. By far my favorite week. I always believe one of my very favorite bold quotes, your business grows to the extent that you do, and I choose to grow. So if you guys are interested in Monat, love to hear from you. If you're interested in the coaching, the website is down at the bottom. And other than that, this is how you guys can reach me. Questions, concerns, comments, excitement, your social media is blowing up and you just want to tell me about it. I would love to hear from you guys. These are all the ways you can follow me: YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest. Pinterest is Deals and Heels, because why wouldn't it be? But I really appreciate your guys' time. I am going to take this back down. We're going to stop sharing the screen. Let's see, we're going to come just right back to me. Thank you so much for your time today, you guys. I know that your time is valuable, and I love that you chose to spend your morning, your afternoon, your evening, whenever you're watching this with me. So I just wanted to thank you so much for doing that. And this is my time to go hang out in Hawaii. So I have my sunglasses and I have my SPF, and I'm out.